All right, welcome back to the It's Better This Way podcast. I am your boy TJ.
And I don't really need no introduction, man. It's 2020. These niggas know who I am, dog.
Ooh.
Oh, making moves.
Okay. All right, well, this episode is going to be...
In case we got some new listeners, look, I am EJ. What's up, dog?
Already, man. Now, today is going to be a little bit different from the normal podcast that we do.
What's so different about it, man?
This day is going to be all about EJ. Yes. Can
you just say you interviewing me? Because I don't like the it's all about you.
That's what the interview is all about. It's not the same thing.
I don't know.
All right, this is an interview, everybody. This is an interview for EJ's sake. This is an interview. We want the people who listen to this podcast every week to get a feel of where EJ is coming from and where he's going as well. You know what I'm saying? So before we get things started, we also want to say Happy New Year to all the listeners. It is a brand new year, 2020. We in this dough.
And this is the first episode of the new year. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, man. How you feel?
I'm cool, man.
How did you feel when this was like first being brought up to the table that we should interview each other?
I thought it was a good idea. We talked about it. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then we started talking about what we was gonna talk about. Like, all right, it's cool.
Because I texted you a couple of days ago. Was it? Yes, it was just yesterday.
Nah, nigga, this nigga don't text me.
Nigga, I did text you.
Only about business.
Hello. All right, get out of here, dog. Don't even do that. Because you don't even respond to the group text no more.
Who in the group?
Me, you, CJ. And even on the Instagram group, you don't respond no more.
Oh, yeah, I do. But
EJ got some new friends.
But IG, I'm hardly on
like
IG
Swerve.
like that, bro. I'm hardly on IG. But for as all right, so let me go ahead and get this clear the air for us why I don't be responding and stuff like that, because we can't have our phones inside of the building for the job that I work in.
That's understood.
So
I don't ever give you a hard time about it. I'm not
you
your
do.
girlfriend.
When did KFC start that policy?
I mean, like probably I think they introduced that about 2012. I know it's been a while since a grown up had a fast food job. But yeah, so when I when I do get to my phone, I respond, because the nigga only got 15 minutes, so I respond to shit, and then if it's, I'll be like, I get back to it, and then I forget to get back to it.
It's all good, bro. Yo, no explanation, brother.
Nigga, you interviewing me. I gotta give explanation.
Like, isn't that the point of an interview?
That's not an interview question.
Oh, they want the question? I was like, nigga, this shit a breeze.
This part is easy.
I'm like, then go to the next question. Come on.
Do you get free nights and weekends?
All right, well, look. with that said, man, you have such a big personality. Everybody loves you, bro.
I don't know about love, but
at least from the feedback that I get about you, man, everybody loves you, man. Everybody's attracted to your personality, your energy, and everything like that. So
I think that's mad dope.
Where does that come from?
My personality?
Yes.
I am a Gemini, so I guess it's that comes with Gemini's personalities, for the most part, like the outgoing and free-spirited kind of person per se. Not all Geminis are the same, but more into depth. I don't know. I guess it's just something that I guess because I'm comfortable being the person that I am, so it's just whatever comes out.
All right. And see, you played it safe on that one. You played it safe. As I was getting prepared for this, because I've been preparing for weeks. I've been preparing for this for weeks, man. I've been writing questions down. I said, I want to hit my boy with EJ with this. But I've been knowing you for a little time now.
All right. Have I been the same?
What you mean?
My personality. Have I been the same?
Yeah, but as I was getting ready, like I was realizing, like, yo, it's a lot of stuff I don't know about my boy. And it's not like I know everything that's present about you. But I was like, you know what? Like just a couple months ago, me and you was in the truck, and you was telling me you had a sister in Houston.
You didn't know I had a
You're
sister?
like, what?
I was like, hold on, what?
Damn. You that mean you don't listen, bro?
No, that mean you don't talk.
I mean,
But it's all good, bro. It's all to the good, man. Let's get it to all that, man. So you say your personality comes from you being a Gemini and you being outgoing, but would like to believe that it's a little bit something that's deeper than that, bro.
All
Like what was your family like, man? What was your uncles and your cousins and your sister like?
So I'm trying to think. Well, my family is my granny, she had 9 kids. So six daughters, three boys. And a lot of my aunts, they have personalities. So they goofy and they outspoken. So and I probably you got me thinking over here because nigga I'm like nigga Gemini, that's my answer.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's not a sufficient answer.
He's like, not good enough.
Yeah, I'm like nigga, it gotta be, you know what I'm saying? But I spent a lot of time with my aunts probably because I was always in trouble, so I had to stay at the house growing up. So probably that, that probably came and adapted on me. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with that.
I've been around your family.
Have you?
I've been around your family, yeah, and that's another thing. As I was getting prepared for the interview, I'm like, dang, I know his mom. I've seen his sister, never been introduced. Your sister that lives here.
Yeah.
I've never been introduced to her, but I like, yo, and I know his son.
You better.
But that's about it.
I mean, you know what, man? I'm the type of person to where I like to go to other people's houses and everything like that because my family, they do the same thing every year, and it's pretty boring. So I like to, if just like you, I'm cool with your side of the family. I kick it with your bros and stuff from time to time. So that's natural to me to just go other places versus people come over because nobody want to come over. You know what I'm saying? Like if they did come over, we probably there for about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes max, and then we going on to the next event.
Why do you feel like? Because I beg to differ. Me being your friend, because we just not podcast partners. Like we really friends outside of this. So I beg to differ. Like I would love to meet your family and understand. Yo, this is where my boy gets this from. Oh, that's his uncle. Oh, that's good to meet you.
How long you been knowing me, man?
Since what, like 06, 07, something like that.
Somewhere off in there.
Yeah.
You ain't never asked.
I didn't ask you to meet my family, but you met them all.
Because I asked.
Nah. But hold on. I don't want this to turn into a debate. I'm trying to figure out, like, is there a reason that, like, you don't introduce your family to your friends? Because you just clearly said that you believe that we boring. But I think...
Well, because I'm always out. I'm always out.
I think everybody would say that their family is boring, but yet you can still come over. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, so I guess it really depends on who it is. If somebody be like, hey, what you doing? What y'all doing? I'm about to come through. If it's cool if I come through. Bet. I ain't never got no text messages like that from you. I'm
not trying to make it a debate, bro.
You just asked me a question.
No, it's not like I'm not just talking about me though. Do other people know your family? It's not just about me.
Man, that's a good question. Once again, it depends. For us, nobody really came around for as family events. Probably Mark Lee probably came around once, if anybody, to an event. But I don't think anybody really just came over and just met the whole entire family, unless some of them was at my mom's house when they came over. So yeah. I think that's a good question.
That's a good question.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, a good answer. My bad.
Yeah, like I said, it's not an indictment, bro. It's not an indictment. I just found that, like, yo, I don't know his family, and I just I was saying it to come from a point of interest, not necessarily a charge against you. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't take it as such. No matter what my voice may say, I didn't take it as such. This guy, but that's actually a good question when you said that. Has anybody came over and met the fam?
Because I don't think everybody has to say, I want to meet your family for them to be introduced. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's just a function. Like, yo, we eating nachos and playing dominoes. Come through. You know what I'm saying?
My family don't do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't play no games. Like, a lot of my family members are older. And one of my closest cousins, Renee, She about 40, 41 or something like that. We cool, we real tight, and that's how it is. Far as like the age group, like far as my male cousins, like we don't really like kick it and stuff like that, cause they doing their own thing, and we just not. It's just not there. They either older or they younger, except for my other cousin who you met, Mikkel.
Yeah, Louisiana.
So that's really about it. That's probably like the only cousin that's consistently that I kick it with, and he's staying in another state.
Right. So. I know I did probably the time I met most of your family was at your son's. Was it a gender reveal or baby? I think it was a baby shower. Was it a birthday party?
Have you came to one of Kayla's birthday parties?
I have, absolutely, I have. I brought my little girl and everything.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, so that's probably when you met him. Yeah.
I remember seeing like you seem heavily dependent upon though. Would you say that's true? Like everybody counts on you as the male in the family
when it comes to certain things,
right?
Because I'm probably like one of the most that probably come around, but I barely do come around, but I come around probably the most consistently.
Right.
So I want to say that I'm heavily dependent on, because a lot of my aunts, they do a lot of things for themselves. I got a lot of younger cousins, but far as dependability, that's a word. Got already. As far as that, yeah, like I guess when I'm there, it's because I don't mind doing anything that they ask me to do if I'm able to do it. So yeah, I want to say everybody just rely on EJ.
Right.
But
I know you grew up in the house. It was you, your mother, and your sister.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I know a few episodes ago we kind of touched on your dad, but we didn't go right into it. Like, is that something you want to bring to light?
Yeah,
about your dad.
Yeah, it's cool. So my dad passed away probably when I was the same age as Caleb is now. Probably. I thought I was younger, but my dad folks told me that I was probably like around 5, so around Caleb age.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up after, probably even before 5, because I know he was in jail, and afterwards, from 5 to 30, that's 25 years of just me and my mom and my sister. So no male presence was really around like that.
Did your mom tell you about him, like how he was, who he was, and everything, or did you know why he was in jail?
I mean, probably like if I asked, I don't know why he was in jail, but I know he passed away in jail for diabetes.
Mm.
So that's probably like the most that I know.
I was trying to keep it from being cliche, but I do want to touch on it. It's very important. Like the black male who grows up without his dad, but it's a true story for a lot of people, not even just black men,
mm-hmm.
But like how was that coming up without your dad? You say you had your uncles around and everything, but like, how was that in that household without your pops?
Well, as far as my uncles around, they wasn't around like that, man. Probably like when we stayed at my granny house, they was probably around. But as far as just the household, it was just me, my mom, and my sister. And my sister spent a lot of time at my aunt's house and my granny house before she passed away. So it was pretty much just me and my mom. What's the question?
Like, well, how do you think that affected you without having your dad?
How do I think it affect me?
Yeah. Especially you being a father now, a present father.
Yeah, I don't think they heard you. What'd you say, bro?
A present.
Oh, present
father.
Not no gifts or nothing like that. Not no gifts, father. Okay, but no, I mean I feel like everybody needs both sides of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? They need the mom, they need the dad, because the mom and the dad comes from two different sides of the earth, of the world, and you're gonna need that as a grown up,
right?
And as growing up as well. So how it affected me is just like learning how to be a teenage boy, learning how to be a man, and a lot of shit I just learned on my own, being out there on my own and learning shit in the streets. I ain't talking about like selling dope because I ain't out there like that. I mean, I sold a couple of sacks, but it wasn't. I wasn't in the game.
We gonna edit that part
because that nigga doing it now.
Cut that out.
But nah, man. It's just, man. All right, so my son is heavily involved in sports right now, man, and okay. I do my best to be at all his games. And I didn't start playing sports until I was in 8th grade. I started playing basketball. And I take that back. 6th grade. I skipped 7th grade, then went to 8th grade playing basketball. And 90% of my games, I was just there by myself.
Damn.
Just me and the team that I was with. Of course, their parents were there. My mom didn't have a car, with us growing up. She still don't have one. So that's the understanding came from that. But I remember when I was in 9th grade or 10th grade playing basketball. We had a tournament, and after the game, I saw like some of my teammates. They moms, like they had signs, they had signs, banners and shit, and I had nobody. So I guess I really adapted me just being on my own. So I guess that's why I'm cool going to my friend's house, and they not coming over there because I feel like, I don't want to say I feel like I'm by myself, but I adapted that in my adulthood.
Yeah, I would imagine that, like, because I know how teen moms are, like they embrace all the kids that's on the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they took a liking to you, so that's why you've always been drawn to other people and their families and their friends and stuff like that. So it's kind of normal to you think?
It's very normal.
Right.
That's why I say it's just something that happens. I don't expect for anybody to come to my family's events or functions that we may have, because it's just regular stuff to me,
right.
But if somebody be like, hey, you want to stop through? Like, yeah, I ain't got no problem with it. If I can do it, I'm there. But as far as like invites, because it's all women. Like my uncles, they might show up, they might not. So it's just, I don't even want to be, be there. I might stop by and then I just burn out, because they just do their own thing. It's just nothing but women,
right.
And I ain't finna just. I grew up being around nothing but women, so I'm not just gonna just stay there.
Right. Like talk about, like, and me and you may be in the same boat with this, because we ain't had no OG. Like, I mean, I got my dad and everything, but like that relationship.
Go throw that in my face. What'd you say?
No, I ain't mean it like that. I'm talking about like that relationship wasn't fostered, and it's kind of trying to be repaired now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in the house, but kind of still away. So I didn't have no OGs either. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had no big brother. Like, I remember how difficult it was learning shit at 14, 15, 16 that kids knew at 9.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like talk about that. Like, was it ever, like, when did you notice that difference? Like, yo, hold on. Like, oh, y'all got big brothers. Oh, y'all got dads and uncles that's present. Like, did you notice a difference when you was a kid?
I'm sure I did, man, but trying to overlook certain things so certain shit won't bother you,
right?
Was definitely heavy. So I didn't really ponder or really just soak in certain shit because it wasn't there. Like, really soaking in some, it wasn't gonna change the situation, cause I put myself on all the music that I listened to growing up. Like, I didn't, like, people say, like they cousins or older brothers, like, man, like check out this Outkast tape, what I'm saying, it's dope. I didn't have that.
Right.
So everything that I caught was either I'm outside, I caught it, somebody listening to it, you know, I'm like, man, that's on, like, you know, like what's that? You know, so but like nothing was like really handed down for me for as knowledge, for as music, for as steps on what to prepare for or anything like that. So everything was definitely a learning lesson for me.
Did you have anybody that you looked up to?
Man, I don't know. I say no, but like I can say one of my male cousins, man, one of my favorite aunts, her son D, he showed up to the games. Like he came to a few games, you know, like to check me out, and was there. You know, like we'll go hoop. So that probably was probably like the only person, you know, that I had. And I think he almost about 40, late 30s or something like that.
Y'all still pretty tight today?
Not really. I mean, you know, like I'm 30, so he married with kids and shit like that. So that relationship probably dwindled a while ago. You know, but it's not. But of course, it's all love because it's family. Right. You know, so but as far as texting and calling and shit like that, that's not really there.
How old was EJ when he first fell in love? Have you ever been in love? First of all, let me ask that. Let's start there.
You just switch on topics like that. Which one you want me to answer, man?
Have you ever been in love?
That's a good question. Yeah, I have, man. First time I've been in love, like I guess like actually been in love, like I felt love, but as far as me allowing myself to be in love was probably my ex.
Explain that one. Like you said, allowing myself to be in love. Like, so it sounded like you experienced it but didn't know it or something. Like, what you mean by that?
No, it's allowing yourself to feel. Allowing yourself to feel everything that love entitles. You know? So when I say that I said I love people and I did love, you know, like some of my exes, women I've been with. But as far as like me being in love, I can't say that I was in love, because my last relationship I was in love. You know, like I learning, going through shit, my understanding, I allow myself to open up, to actually feel all, you know, like the ups and the downs, the steadies and shit like that, you know, so I was open.
So is that how you know when you was in love, or well, how did you know you was in love? Like did it change you or something like that, or did it?
I ain't cheating. But and I'm not saying that a person who doesn't cheat is in love with a person, you know. So I wanted to clear that up. But as far as me, yeah,
you knew you didn't want to do that.
I mean,
to this person that you love.
Yeah, because it wasn't no need. You know, I ain't saying that I ain't want to step out, but like far as me taking the opportunities to do certain things that wasn't even presented. You know.
How did? I'm supposed to be comfortable with asking questions like this. But
this nigga uncomfortable. Like
yeah, it is. But I really want to know the answer, man. How does it feel being in love, bro? Like I want women and men to hear another male say it. You know, like how does it feel for a man to say, I'm in love? Like, what was that experience like for you, bro? Because I will say that I met her, and as awesome as I thought she was, I was like, wow, like EJ really changed. You know?
How did I change though?
You changed for the good.
I know, but I want to know like how.
Bro, I don't think you mispronounced any words. You know what I'm saying? He was dressing nicer. You know what I'm saying? Like he was taking his fellas out. Hey man, y'all want to go out? Let's
Nah, I know that nigga lying.
He was taking us out.
Know that nigga lying now. But man, how you said? How did I know I was in love?
How did it feel being in love, man? Did it feel good? Did it feel like was it a certain amount of responsibility? Was it pressure?
How do you know?
How do you know?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm explain it like this. So I feel like love, like real love, being in love, it's the same thing as experiencing life. You know, far as if you really out here experiencing life, you know the meaning of life. Let me put that out there first. You know the meaning of life. So you're out here living. You know, it's you're not out. Okay, let me tackle one question at a time.
For sure.
You know, because I'm confusing myself in my mind. So love. How did I know that I was in love? Is like you said. I mean, I changed, and I noticed a change within myself, but it was for the better. You know, like I said, I allow myself to open up, knowing that being in love comes with heartache. It comes with happiness. It comes with good times. It comes with bad times. It's a lot of shit that happens within love. It's not just happy moments. You know what I'm saying? Because real love, you open, you talking, you expressive, you become willing. You know, like willing to understand another person.
Damn, E.
Yeah, you wanted this, my nigga. You know, but now you really become willing to understand the person that you with, and not just accept them for who they are. You know, like you want to know why they do certain things, why they respond in a mannerism that they do. I'm using words like mannerism and shit.
Boy, stupid.
But nah, that's real though, bro. Like,
Did it feel good? Did it feel good to be in love, man?
I mean, it did, man, because it was new. You know, it was a new chapter. It was me maturing as an adult and as a man. You know, being accepting to my shortcomings, me not being good in certain areas. You know, like me not being great. Because in my mind, like if I'm just talking to a person, I can be anybody who I want to fucking be. You know what I'm saying? But with a person that actually is around you majority of your week, majority of your day, they know who you are if you allow yourself to be your true self. So,
and how did you know that this person loved you back? Like, was it a certain day, a certain moment, a certain thing that was forgiven? How does EJ feel loved from this person? I kind of got this idea that all people want to be loved like their parents love them, and that's unconditionally. But a lot of times as adults, you realize that it actually got some conditions on it. You know, we want to be loved unconditionally, but we don't necessarily want to love anybody unconditionally. You know, but how did you know that you was loved by this person?
you asked two different questions. Your last question was, how did I know I was loved by her?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking now. How did you know you was loved by your ex?
Because I saw it. You know, like I said, like real love is not just doing everything that you want, doing what I want you to do. It's doing what's best for you, you know, because me having conversations with the person that we're talking about, she didn't always give me my way, you know, and I appreciate her for doing that, because that helped me grow and help my understanding grow as a person and also within myself. So how I knew I was loved is it was shown, but not just by gifts or just doing things. It's by by helping me understand why she's doing the shit that she did or that she's doing. So I really appreciated that. You know, it's like a learning lesson, because I feel like you're supposed to take away something from every relationship that you're in. You're supposed to, if that person is not teaching you nothing, then you need to find another person, because you both are supposed to help each other elevate and grow as human beings. So,
can I ask a question?
Sure. Before.
So, growing up the way that you did, it doesn't sound like there was a lot of relationships in an aspect of like male and female. So
you're talking about as far as my family members,
right? Like, because your mom, she didn't have somebody that she was in love with,
right?
Would you say? So growing up that way, do you think you actually did in your family? Was there a relationship that you seen where like that is love right there?
In my household, now. Well, I don't even want to say in my household, in my family, now. It wasn't nothing to where it was like, man, I want a relationship like that. But even speaking on that, you have to be careful doing that, because growing up and seeing relationships, you don't really know the ins and outs of that relationship. You don't know the gist of it. Because I know a lot of people that's in a 2-parent household, they grow up saying, man, I want a relationship like my mom and dad. And then as soon as they ass go to college, their mom and dad get divorced. Then they fucking mind is blown, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I thought my mom and dad had a perfect relationship, when actuality, I said that. Okay. In actuality,
Accurate. Confirmed.
Like, they was keeping that relationship together for you, you know. So that's something that I disagree on, because I remember when Caleb's mom was in the process of having him when she was pregnant, and we went to counseling, and the counselor was like, I was telling her, like my problems, what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do, and she talked to me one-on-one, and she was like, why you don't want to be together for the kid? And I'm like, why would I? You know? And she said that you'll be surprised how many people stay together for the sake of their kids. And that's something I still don't get to this day, why somebody would do that, because you trying to have a relationship for the sake of the kid, but you don't understand the sake of the relation. You don't know the type of relationship that you having, the effect that it's having on your kid. You know, the emotionless, having no emotion, you know what I'm saying, for its affection and everything like that. And also, number one is, as soon as that child turns an adult, you get a divorce and y'all separate. You know, you in 18 years, you wasted your life and the other person's life. But the trauma that it has on that still a kid, the 18-year-old, thinking that they mom and dad had a perfect relationship, and now they all fucked up, not knowing what a true relationship is, or how to see one when they actually see it, or when they actually have it. So I feel like it fucks a kid up more staying in something just for the sake of the kid versus doing what I did and chunking the deuce before that child is even old enough to understand certain things.
I do have a follow-up question to that question. Go for it. So, growing up not seeing that, how do you think you actually learned what love is? Was it just from experiencing it, or was it from like movies or songs?
Oh, fucking movie.
That's what I'm saying, because like a lot of times in movies and music, you have this very fantasy way of thinking of what love is. Like, you just meet this person and it just works.
I mean,
and it doesn't work that way.
I guess it's just like my understanding of life. I mean, because everything is not gonna be a movie. Everything is not gonna be what you experience in life. Some shit is gonna be above your understanding and some shit that you haven't experienced. So it's, to me, it's always been experience. That's how I learned a lot of shit. I learned how to ride a bike by myself, you know, busting my ass and learning the shit, you know, what to do. I learned how to swim by myself. I learned how to play basketball by myself. So it's just, everything is a life experience for as what I should and shouldn't do. And I still hold on to that to now, you know, is experiences. I mean, because that's all life really gives you, is experiences. And from experiences, you gain knowledge, you gain understanding. But I feel like it shouldn't always have to be that way. Like, some shit you should be told to gain understanding from. You know, like, don't put your hand on that stove because it's hot. Okay. My dad said it's hot. My mom said it's hot, so I'm not gonna do that. Versus me not knowing that the stove is hot and learning that shit and having to experience certain shit on my own. I'm like, damn, that shit is hot. And I got blisters all over my hand. You know, so it's different. It's different ways to gain knowledge and understanding. But some ways are easier, some ways are better, some ways are harder. And for me, I feel like some shit has been easier from experiences, but a lot of shit has also been hard because I had to bump my head a couple of times to understand.
What's the scariest part about love? Everybody love to talk about
we still on love. Okay.
The beautiful part about it, but like there's a scary side to it too.
Like I said, the scary side is you allowing yourself to feel, you know, because when you allow yourself to fully let go and to fully feel, you are prone to everything that comes with that.
You're exposed.
You are. You out in the open, and that comes with letting go. And a person cannot get to a certain level in love if they don't let go, if they're not exposed, because you have to expose yourself to find out what the true definition of love is, because you have to feel. And that's why I say the first time me being in love came from my last relationship, because I allowed myself to feel, you know, and not have my guards up and not expecting certain shit from the other party, you know. So you're prone to have heartache. You're prone to what if this person is cheating, you know, like you allow yourself to feel all that shit.
Does EJ want to be married someday?
Hold on. I'm just laughing the way that nigga
That's
D-Rich.
a good one. He's wait a minute, I gotta shift this.
Like, hold up now, nigga.
Let's see his face.
Do I want to be married, man? With the right person, man. And the reason why I say with the right person is the understanding of the person, because my views and my outlook on life is different, you know. And anybody that's listening to this podcast knows that, and anyone who truly knows me outside of just the podcast, they know that. I can I'll be open to it, man. But with the right person, you know, like I don't want to have certain conversations on why I don't do this and why I don't do that, as far as religion wise. So being with that type of person or coming across that type of person, I'll probably be open for it. But who's to say that person will want to get married, you know? So I feel like the most important thing to have is a relationship and to have an understanding between you and that person. Like all this marriage and shit, that really doesn't matter, because all that is man-made, you know? So as long as you and the other person have the understanding, fuck all the other shit, man. Fuck the bull. Don't let anybody outside of your relationship dictate what you should or should not do in your relationship. So that's how I feel on it. Yeah, come on, turn that bitch
around. Do you have a daily routine? Like when you wake up in the morning, like what do you do?
Nigga, I'm late. Once again, anybody that know me know that I'm late. So a daily routine. I probably hit my snooze probably 2 times. But I did, since I'm grown up now, I have a backup. I have a backup alarm, 10 minutes afterwards. And that come from experience, nigga, learning the hard way.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, I remember like even at this new job, I was late to work cause my ass hit stop instead of snooze. Like, nigga, why the sun up?
What just happened?
Is it Saturday?
Shit. Fuck you up, man. I'm trying to tell you. But for as the daily routine, unless I have my son, I mean, I'm already put on certain regiments because it's either I'm dropping Caleb off at school or if I don't have him, that's just my time to do what it is that I do. But I don't know what it is that I do because I just find it out.
Right.
So
I was asking to see like if you wake up in the morning and you pray, or do you spend some time with yourself, or do you just wake up and say thanks and hop out the bed, put your shoes on, everything, you hit the ground running?
I spend majority of my time talking to God in the car, man.
Right.
On my way to work. So if I'm not listening to sports radio, even when I am listening to sports radio, I hit the button, be like, this time for me to get my mind right, for me to talk to God. And I don't necessarily say praying. I just say I talk to God because that's essentially what you're doing anyway, is talking. But people say praying because it's praying. That's what they're taught to say.
Do you subscribe to a specific religious system?
No, I don't. And I'm sure my thoughts and beliefs is something out there, a title on that. I haven't came across it, but I'm love, bro. Like that's the most important part of anything, man. It's just love.
Loveism.
Hey.
Lovianity.
Write that shit down. I might go.
We'll make
it
a thing.
Yeah,
let's start it.
I start my own. Fuck it. But no, I don't. Far as now, anyway, I don't tie to any particular religion.
Right. And is there a specific reason? Because you grew up around black women.
Yeah.
Black women love some church.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the only thing they love, but I know you're talking about.
Ladies love cool EJ. Is that what you about to say or something? How did you separate from that pack?
Experiences, man.
Back to the experiences, huh?
That's all it is.
Right.
I'm trying to think about a particular time, man. Okay, so throughout my process of religion and Christianity, because I grew up in the church, because that's all my family knew, and that's what they did. Some more and some less than others. So growing up in the church, I went to church probably 3 days out the week. So Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, because that's what my mom did. And on fourth Sunday, it was Sunday morning and Sunday night. So I was in the church. And also in my adulthood, well, I took a break from church when I was out there on my own. But I went back to the church because I was like, man, this is this is what I need to do. You know, this is what solidifies me as being a good person, as being a good man. So, getting in my probably about 4 years ago, maybe. Was it 4 years ago? Probably about 4 years ago. That's probably about that. You know, I was in the church. I was on the usher board and all that shit. D-Rick, don't laugh at me, bro. Like, this nigga was an usher, nigga.
I didn't know that either.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
That's what I was doing, man. Because that's what I thought. This nigga still laughing, bro. That's what I thought was necessary as me being a good man, or what solidified me as being a good man, being, you know, a good Christian man, and all that shit, you know, that you hear. But, you know, me being in church, you know, my understanding was a little different, and certain shit didn't really click, and I had questions about certain shit in my adulthood that I didn't have as a child. So me taking that break probably away from church was probably the best thing for me, because it allowed me to think for myself instead of allowing somebody to think for me. Because and people don't even want to hear this though, but when you in the church, you're on a certain religious path. You're taught how to think. You're taught how to process certain shit. You're taught how to accept and what to not accept. And people don't even realize that. But taking that break allowed me to think for myself. And even though I did something that I felt like I needed to do, I got a bigger outcome out of it, because I was like, yeah, I was doing this, but let me go ahead and do this. And because this is what's needed. And doing what I thought was needed, I found out that it wasn't needed. You know? So me being able to experience that, man, was very dope, man. So, and that allowed me to learn out about, to find out about energy, find out about yourself, about being able to relate to all different types of religions and understanding and opinions and shit. Because when you're in a certain religion, you're only taught how to accept your thought process. You're taught how to accept other people's opinions and views that's aligned with yours versus the other way, you know.
And when you stepped away, did you feel like that was something that you had to go and tell your family about? Like, hey, I'm not doing this no more.
No, I didn't tell my family. I mean, because
even to this day they don't know.
Well, I mean, of course they know, because we go to the same church. But I didn't feel like it was a need for me to go tell my family, like, hey, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that no more. The only person that I had that conversation with was my mom, and I told her why, and I asked her certain questions when I was able to understand more, because on the journey, I mean, it's certain shit that I didn't understand that people told me not to do, that I didn't get to later, to probably like a year later, you know. And that's I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That's not picking your own battles. So that comes with not picking a fight, or just telling people about the shit that you know, because people that not on the same understanding as you, that you try to tell them that the shit that you know, or that what you feel is right, they're not gonna understand certain things, because their understanding is not there, you know. So they think from a different they think a different way, I guess.
Right.
So yeah.
So you just let them be.
You got to, and I didn't understand that.
I got a few more questions, man.
Go ahead. You already asked 10 of them.
It's just 10. This has been good, man. But we already closing in on the hour, man. But I did want to ask you, like, what are you still trying to achieve?
Trying to achieve, man. Being a better me, man. That's really all I want to do. I mean, cause money is money, man, and I feel like as long as I can be honest with people, even when they don't want to hear it, I want people to know that when they ask EJ a question, he gonna give his honest opinion about whatever you ask. He gonna let you know how he feel. And what I'm steady achieving, man, is just being a greater me. You know, because us as people, we constantly growing, we constantly learning, adapting. So as long as I don't adapt the mind frame that I know it all, I feel like I'm good.
I guess the last few questions, I'm gonna kind of make them like lightning round questions. What's the biggest lesson you learned as a father?
That's a good one, man.
So many.
Like wear a condom, probably.
Shit. If I did that nigga wouldn't be here. So you got a raw dog every once in a while, Josh.
Raw dog.
We were so about to get that Oprah Winfrey deal. The OWN network was about to call.
Oprah didn't want us, nigga.
Yes, she don't. She sure don't. Oprah don't fuck with us.
Man, it's so much, T, and I'm sure you know this as being a father yourself, man.
I would even imagine that sometimes you put yourself in your son's shoes. You know, like dang, I remember being at this stage.
Yeah,
the only difference is he has his dad here.
I'm gonna tell you the hardest thing that I had to deal with as being a father to this day. This happened last year. I remember, man, I was on my way to take Caleb to school, and this one, it was like 40 degrees outside. So this probably was like October or some shit. Whenever October, early November. I don't feel like it was early November though. It was probably October. But man, I was on my way to take Caleb to school, and we ran out of gas. And we sitting on the side of the road waiting for I think I called my sister or my aunt to come get us. And he was like, why we sitting here? Why we and I told him, I was like, you know, we ran out of gas, and he was like, why we run out of gas? And having to be like transparent and really honest with my son about why was super hard on me. That was probably like the worst thing that I experienced out of 2019. So learned, like, just me as a father putting my son in that situation was very difficult.
Right.
You know. So shit happens, you know, shit happens that's above our control. So but the best thing about being a father and having the son that I have is you're like, okay, you know, because life is all about, it's not all good, it's not all bad, but it's how you deal with certain things, and it's what you take from certain things, it's what you learn from certain things. So I never want to put my son in that situation again, and that's something that I didn't even think about that would happen, you know, me being a father. but that's something that I vowed to make sure it never happened again, you know. But on the other side, you know, good side, and I remember I told you this last week when we kicked it. Me going through my normal routine at night, getting Caleb ready for bed. So I'm dressing him. Well, no, I'm dressed. I pick out his clothes, his night clothes, for him to go to bed, and you know I'm about to change his clothes. He said, "Dad, I got it. Give me some space." I said, "Oh, okay." You know, because I've been doing the same thing for 5 years. You know, and for my son to tell me that he got it, you know, that was a check for me. That nigga checked me. You know, so I'm like, oh, okay. You need some space now.
Right.
You know, so it's all about learning, because you can't continue to do the same thing that you've been doing, because once again, people change. And my son, I don't know if the nigga think he grown or what, but he for as him, he can change his own clothes. Let's just say that.
Right.
You know, so it's love, man. Being, you know, like putting you know that you taught to put your kids first, but when you actually in the situation or actually in it, that you have to put your kids first, the understanding comes like, wow, okay.
I have a question about that. You have to put your kids first and everything. How is coming from someone who doesn't have a kid, how has having a child changed your perception of your own death?
That's for both of us.
That's for you.
That actually goes to my next question too, so I'm glad you went there.
Ask that one more time, Josh.
Has having a kid made you less afraid of dying?
Oh, damn. That sounds different from what you just said. Okay. I die for my child. I say that. I live for my child, and I die for my child, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm just saying, like, everyone's scared to die, but, like, as biological creatures, like, we're programmed to pass on our genes, and, like, as soon as we have, like, we've fulfilled our, air quotes, purpose.
Right.
Like, did that, like, lessen the anxiety that, you know, in the same amount of time that you've lived so far, if you do it again, then it's over forever? Like, that, like, lessen the blow?
You know what, Josh, that goes back to T's earlier questions about being in love, because I feel like when you're truly in love, whether it's a male or a female, them their self, they'll feel like they'll die for that person. You know, it's a level of insanity that comes with being in love. You agree?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like, you have to be insane to love somebody.
Yeah, you have to be. Yes. Like that, and that's facts. You know, and people, you know, and that's why people do crazy shit for love. You know,
what Al Green say: "Love will make you do right and make you do wrong."
Make you do wrong. That's why I say I die and I live for my child.
Facto. You
know, I live for him. I do everything that I can do that's in my will and in my power to provide for him, and I cross out my own life so his life can continue.
But do you, God forbid, you pass away anytime soon, but a long time from now, do you feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that you have trained your son to be a good citizen on this earth and you can die peacefully? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that kind of what you was getting at, Josh? Like, when you have a kid, like, a piece of you is still here?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was getting at. I mean, at some point in everybody's life, when you're, like, laying down in bed and it's dark and there's nothing around, and you can just kind of imagine what 50 years from now is going to look like, and, like, you know, like, we're in our 30s, you know? When you were 12, you're like, 30? Like, yeah. That's like a million years from now. That's never, and then, like, you're there.
Yeah.
Like, well, just think about that same, and you're going to be 70.
Right.
And then you're going to die. and then that's it, forever. And like the anxiety like that brings about, you know. I was just curious if that like lessens any when you've passed on your genes.
Does it?
Go ahead and answer that one first.
Oh, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For me, I would probably say yeah, absolutely. Like a piece of me is here now, you know, and I feel good. I will feel good knowing that I'm leaving a legacy. You know what I'm saying? And that's through my child. And when she has a family, if she chooses to have a family, even if she doesn't have a family, like I left a legacy with her.
Right.
You know? And so, yeah, I would say it decreases the anxiety about it, you know, and at least, and this is not a diss to anybody who can't have kids or who don't want kids, but I feel like I've done my duty for the world, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I left something here. Did a lot of fucking up, but I left something here.
Yeah. Oh, you gonna fuck up along the way, my dog.
Yep.
But for us to answer both of y'all's question, what I feel like, if I was to leave now, would I taught my son enough to be happy? And the answer is no, because it's so much that I want to teach him. You know, there's so much that I want him to know from my experiences, and for him to be able to think for himself, because he's only 5, man. So it's like a lot of his growing up is what me and his mom told him to do. You know, so for him to grow up, to be in his teens and to experience shit from what I've told him and what his mom told him and the world told him, for him to be able to think for himself is probably something I'd be most grateful for, you know, because a lot of us is just told how to think, and I'm not with that, you know, because that messes a person up, because you just teaching him off what you experienced and not on the road that another person, not a path that another person has to live, because their experiences is gonna be different from yours, you know. So that's my take on it.
Okay. Bro, this has been excellent, man.
That's it.
Nah, I got plenty more questions.
Nigga, ask them questions, bro.
You actually liking it now, right?
We only an hour in. All right.
Oh man.
Did you make a this or that for him that he has to answer?
Okay, well, since you're giving me liberty to go a little bit further, man, what have you given up on?
Man, I was just talking about this the other day, bro. I forgot who asked me this, but this was when was after our rap career.
Bars.
So I remember I was going to school, man. I was going to Cedar Valley, man. I decided to go to school for music production, and I was highly into it, man. I was loving it. Actually, for the first time, man, I'm getting A's and everything. Well, I got a couple of B's, but for the most part, I'm getting A's and everything, man, and I'm enjoying it. And I remember, man, I had this conversation with my mom and my aunt, and they told me what I should, cause I told them what I was doing, going to school for, and they said, man, you need to go to school for that, to do something that's guaranteed. You should go to school for business. And I switched my major from music to business, and I feel like that's probably like one of my biggest regrets. I got a couple of more, but that's probably one of my biggest, is not doing something that I enjoy doing or that I love doing at the time. Because I enjoyed that, man. I enjoyed going to school, learning about the piano, learning about instruments, man. That was the highlight. of my day, because after I came from school, I went to work, and I really enjoyed that, and I feel like I really gave up on something that was gonna make me happy at the time.
Okay, now that you know that, would you ever go back for that particular?
Not now, man.
Feel
no. Now, all the shit that they was talking about really matters now. You know what I'm saying? And that's with me not knowing. Like, I had time to fuck up. I could have got my degree in music production to be a music producer, and if that shit didn't work out, I still had time to change course. But now, nigga, I'm 30 years old. I can't be like, yeah, I'm a music producer now.
I disagree.
You could get business cards made up and hand them out to all your like Uber passengers. Though.
Yeah. And the reason why I say that to you is because my passion and my enjoyment for that has passed.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I mean, cause it's never too late for you for anybody to do what they want to do. Let me clear that up, because I mean it's people that's 60 years old still getting their master's, still getting their bachelor's degree, but for what the enjoyment that I had for it at the time, it passed, you know. So I mean, I still love music to this day. I wouldn't even mind writing music, but where I was at that moment and stage in my life, that moment has passed.
What if it's one of those things that just kind of got suppressed with the duties of life? You know what I'm saying? Like you had a kid.
Yeah.
You know, you had to really focus on making money for this kid and eating and finding a place to live and buying a car and all that stuff. And I'm sure you had all those things before, while you were in school. But now it really means something. You know, like when you ain't got no kid or you ain't got no wife or no husband or nothing like that, you can fuck up.
You can.
You can afford to like get evicted. You know, and you can. You know, a lot of people like to put emphasis on you don't want to be in that situation. You don't, but you can at least afford it and say, well, I have to take care of me, not two more kids or a wife or a husband in this situation. You can afford to fuck up. Do you feel like what if it's just one of those things that just got suppressed with the duties of life, though?
If it comes back up, I'll be open to it. If it just happened to happen, and everything was just laid out, you know, and I get that voice in my head or that thought that be like, hey man, this is meant to be, or some shit like that.
All right.
You know, but when I said that they told me that shit when it didn't matter, but now it matters. It does, cause like you said, you can't fuck up. You can't fuck up now. Well, I can't fuck up now. You know, so taking the risk on music right now is probably wouldn't be in my best interest. Right. You know, for me and my family. But would it be something that if it came up, I'd be interested in? Yeah. You know, if it worked out, if it was something that was to make me money right now, I'd be down. I'd get some lessons from D. Rick. We'll be good.
I kind of go ahead, John.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, like maybe like T.I.'s tour bus breaks down downtown, and like his music producer gets like hit by one of those bird scooters, and he's like, "Oh, I just need a music producer right now," and you're just like walking by at that time.
He definitely wouldn't want to go with me, cause nigga, I don't know the difference from the keys now, nigga. A, F, G, nigga.
Don't tell him that. Like
learn
hey, on the job.
Go ahead and make cook up this beat right quick, man.
Cook it up.
Cook up this beat right quick, man.
Bro, that is so 03. That is so 03.
But you said something that you gave up that you regretted. What's one of the things that you gave up that you're glad you gave up? Like giving a fuck about what people think.
Yes.
That's a good thing to give up.
Man, religion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck all that noise.
Truth.
Like real talk.
Yeah. Just remember, when you die, it's black. And it's nothing.
It's nothing until you live again.
Come on, E.
Hey, I'm they'll get it if they ready.
It felt good to give that up.
Like real talk, because I still get criticized to this day, man, about religion, and And it's to me, man, it's just one of the things that I'm proud of myself that I did, because I was able to make that decision on my own, and I was able to understand certain shit that other people don't understand, you know. And I don't want to say I put myself above those people, but I can say I put myself aside of those people, because not everybody can live life without being told what to do, you know. So
and that's important for a person like yourself who had to learn everything based off experience and not necessarily tradition, you know, and this is what you're supposed to do.
And I didn't even have that thought process, T. I mean, because I'm 30. Like I said, that shit probably happened 4-5 years ago. So I was probably, you know what? Yeah, because I was still going to church when Kayla was a baby. So yeah, it was around that time frame. So, but I wasn't thinking for myself, but at the same time, I was doing what I thought was needed for me to be viewed and for me to be a good person, or to be viewed as a good person, if that makes sense. But anybody that know me, they know the type of person that I am. And if we don't bring up religion, you know, they'll have their thoughts until I be like, nah, you know, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. I be like, oh, okay. And then shit starting to change, because they understand and they views starting to soak in on why I'm not doing this and why I'm not doing that. But the bigger question is, why are you doing, or why do you believe in what you believe? You know.
What scares you about getting older?
Well, it ain't gray hair no more, so
they there. It ain't the baldy no more either,
bro. I swear to God, bro. Today, man, I plucked out a gray nose hair. How the fuck does that even happen? Like, why is gray hair even there? Like, I'm being serious, because I think I got like 2 or 3 gray eyelashes. Then they've been there for a year or so. But what scares me about getting older?
Yeah.
I'm not there yet to say nothing, because that'll be a lie. Where I'm at right now,
and not even necessarily just right now, but like when you think about yourself at 75, like, are you doing the things now that will take care of you when you're 75, getting ready to touch 80 and 85, 90, et cetera, et cetera? Like, when you think about yourself being an old man, does it scare you, or does it excite you? I might be asking the wrong question. Does it excite you?
I mean,
it scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah, it got to.
I'm scared.
I mean, honestly, man, it's probably my health, man. To be honest, because I'm a diabetic, so, and I don't live a diabetic lifestyle at the moment. So probably what I'm doing now, I think about how is it gonna affect me in the future, far as the shit that I'm consuming and the things that I'm doing. So that probably scares me the most. And if it's not that, man, then my son comes next, far as me getting him ready for what the world and what life has in store for him, because it ain't all them fairy tales and shit goes out the window until real life hits. You know what I'm saying? You know, they'll tell you, you know, just pray on it, you know, and then you know, talking to God and praying is good, man, but that got me in the situation that I was in last year, for as hoping for the best instead of thinking logically, man. So just getting him prepared for all the twists and turns, the detours that life has, because you can get on the road, man. You can get on 75, you can get on 35 right now, and on your way home, and then your exit to your house is blocked off. So now shit is new to you, you got to get off on a different exit. You unprepared to exit at two exits beyond your stop sign, well above your exit. So now you scrambling on what to do, what turns to take. So just letting him know that life ain't gonna be a breeze, man, and it's a lot that comes with it. It's a lot of understanding, it's a lot of growing and shit that's gonna happen that was unexpected. Just getting him prepared for that. I'm not even gonna get him prepared for everything that happens because I don't even know, but letting him know or instilling certain shit that's gonna be very beneficial towards him is something that I worry about.
All right, last question. I promise. I feel like one of those black churches that say we're getting ready to close.
Pass collection plate went back one more time, dog.
Just never close. We're here 3 hours later. But this is the last question. I promise you. And take us off on a good note, man. When you leave this earth, what do you want your loved ones to say about you? What is your biggest compliment and reward for people to say about you?
Ask that question one more time.
So whenever you get ready to leave this earth, you're surrounded by your loved ones, friends, family, coworkers, et cetera, et cetera. What would excite you, or what have you worked so hard for in your life and in your relationships with people for them to say about you upon your departure?
I'm just listening to a lot of whole idle noise right now because I'm over here thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. You should have. That's one of them questions you should have texted me last week. So I could be prepared for that one.
Had to screen that one. I ain't gonna force nothing out of you, man.
Nah, man. That's a question that I'm actually really thinking about seriously.
What would you like your son to say about you? He did good.
As far as my son, honesty, I never want him to think that I told him something based off of how I felt.
Ooh.
I want him to say that I get it. That Pops told me, he told me this for a reason, and I get the reason why he told me that. So that's important to me. And that comes with honesty, and not putting my views and my beliefs into certain shit. I'm telling him something that is needed for him to know, because that's how our relationship is, man. And I remember his mom telling me that you need to stop treating your son like a friend and more like a son. And I don't respond to 65% of shit that she say, but I really don't. But I really didn't respond to that, and I wanted to, and I thought about why she said that, as far as like me treating him like a friend, and because anybody that knows me when I'm with my son, they see that I treat him like a man. I'm treating him like he's his own person, because he is, and we have our own handshake, and we just cool. But it's that I really want him to be who he is. I want him to really process his feelings and why he think the certain shit versus doing shit that I tell him to do or that his mom tell him to do. I want him to understand why he's doing the shit that he does, or why he thinks how he does. And I want him to be able to talk to me about, cause even if he have a question like, hey dad, why I think like this, or why do I do this? Why do you think I do this? I want him to understand that when he comes to me with questions, I'm gonna give him the honest answer. You know, what I think is the honest answer, and give him different reasons, or give him an A and a B, and not just A, nigga. It's A. It's always A. And neglect B. Nah, it's always an A and a B. You know. For as life, what was that question? Because I forgot.
No, that was it. You answered it.
Oh,
I was asking. Well, at first I asked it from a standpoint of everybody saying something about you, like one person you want to leave on people. Yeah. But then I just minimized it to your son.
Man, everybody.
And you probably just don't give a damn. I mean, your slogan is "fuck it."
I mean, it is, but you know, it's just that as much as people say that they don't give a fuck about what people say about them, they care about they care about what people say about them, man.
Facts.
And that's the honest to God truth. A person can be like, man, I don't give a fuck what somebody say about me, and that might be a truth. Then that might be the truth. You might don't care, but it comes a time and a point to where you do care about what somebody says about you, because what a person say about you might not be the truth, and now you sitting up here defending or trying to justify why you do the shit that you do, so that person can understand why you do the shit that you do. So it's a thin line. What a person say about me, what I would want them to say is that next episode,
That's cool, man. We ain't gonna force one.
I'm gonna think about that one, bro.
Yeah. Well, bro, thank you for agreeing to do this, and thank you for going first.
Oh yeah, of course.
I told you I've been preparing for this for weeks, man. This was a lot of fun. I didn't get the half of the shit that I actually wanted to ask,
and that's crazy, man.
We'll say that for the car ride, but I think you're dope, bro. You my brother, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So. This is also a big salute to you, man. I appreciate everything that you bring to the podcast, but also to our friendship, bro. So you a stand-up dude, man.
I appreciate that, bro.
Publicly.
You trying to make me cry and shit, ain't
man,
you?
Get out of here, dude. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because if you gonna do it, I'm going to cry. If you do it, I'm going to do it. Nah, man. Everything I said, I mean, bro. I love you, bro. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get up out of here, man. You should have saw me. Yo, before we did this interview, I was going to come in here with a turtleneck and some glasses on. I kid you not. The only reason I didn't do it was because I couldn't find my turtleneck. I couldn't find my turtleneck, man. But I was going to get in what Deion Sanders used to say, if you want to play good, you got to dress good. If you want to dress good, you got to look good, something like that. I was going to get in full character and be Brian Gumbel in his mug. You know, but thank you, man, for your transparency, bro. You know, that was dope, man. I think a lot of people will get a good grasp of who you are and why you say fuck it.
You know, and then, you know, it's gonna be those that don't.
I don't think you're gonna get any hate on this one, bro. It's something about interviews that make you change your perspective about a person. Yeah. Like I remember the first time I heard a Nicki Minaj interview, I was like, oh wow, she's cool. I could not stand her before that.
Right.
Yeah.
Respect.
You know? Yeah, it's a respect. Like even if you disagree with them, you understand like why. Like, oh, okay, there's some shit I need to fix within myself. You know, or I had that part misunderstood.
Yeah.
So this is a good opportunity, man, for people who listen to us weekly to actually get to know EJ.
Yeah, so, man. And I appreciate you for even having the idea to do this, man. You know, you my brother. Even though you light skinned, you know, you my brother from another mother. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's all love on my side, man. Yeah, that's probably my answer, man. It's just love, man. Because I'm not there yet for it's just like all love, you know. But I have that personality to where it is all love, you know. Some shit might get to me, but at the end of the day, it's all love. You know, and I put that as far as my signature sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Much love, you know, but that's probably something I want to definitely adapt more into 2020 is just expressing more love. And that can come in different forms and different fashions, because my love might not be your love. Right. You know, my level of understanding of love might not be yours, but at least for my part, I want to express and give more love and put that out into the universe.
Already. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That does it for this week's edition of the It's Better This Way podcast. We have still not found a cool way to end this show, so we're just saying this every time we go.
You know what?
What's that?
Fuck it.
Salute.
That was dope, bro.
Nailed it.